to the SUMO community. It's for September 2019. And we have lots of people today. I'm so happy to see more of you here. So yeah, let's see what we have for today. First of all, contributors of the week. Oh, I want to remind you to add your name in the wiki if you haven't done it. So we know that we document that you're here. So first of all, contributors of the week, we have Jonathan, Wesley, and Mozilla Brazil who made the awesome add-on for SUMO, especially for forum contributors. So please add or install the add-on if you think that is going to help you on your contribution in SUMO. It's an awesome add-on. I'm using it myself, so just check out if you're interested on that. And you can also send a PR. Jonathan encourage you to do so. So yeah, that's contributors of the week. Next one, we have a new section. I just added it for this meeting. We have new contributors for the week, and the first that we have for this week is that RG Xiao. That he's been helping us on the support community, helping us with Japanese and Taiwanese Mandarin, I guess. And RG has been helping us since the add-on apocalypse. So thank you so much, RG, and welcome to the community. We also have Danny here, who has been around for quite some time in the community. He is SDK in the what is it called, IRC. So yeah, thank you so much and welcome to the community, Danny. Next up, we have community news of the week, which is the community meeting survey. This is for me. So for those of you that have been around, you probably remember that I sent out the survey for a community meeting. So just a quick overview of the results because I'm still working on that. So 25 people already filled out the survey. Thank you so much for those of you who filled out the survey. Well, basically we have lots of information and inputs and suggestions from you. So we'll be working on a recommendation. Well, I have synthesized all the recommendations from the survey, but maybe after by the end of the week, I can share more of the results to you all. So please expect more updates on that. Next one, we have product updates, which is for Box 69 that has just been released yesterday, I believe. Roland, do you have any updates on that?
I read through 43 support questions, which I think Mr. Philip Marisbaka, Mr. probably read too. I didn't see anything. That was just the questions from day one, i.e. yesterday. We have a problem with reader mode, which looks like a regression. Release engineering and release management have found other bugs that will probably require 6801, but nothing major so far, fingers crossed. If you find anything, please put it in the contributor forum thread that Philip started on SUMO. Thank you.
Yeah, if you find anything, just put it on the forum, or you can also ping me or Roland directly. From the social support, we also don't see any major issue currently, just lots of noise about NICE and 69. So we're getting lots of response about that. So yeah, we're still cleaning up the buffer reply tool. Well, anyway, moving on, platform updates. We have Madalena here, who is going to talk more about updates from Kitsune and the response tool, I believe. So, Madalena.
Yes. Hi. I'm going to share my screen so everybody knows what I'm talking about. Give me a second. I have way too many documents open. Okay. First thing is the platform. I'm going to share this. Okay, can everybody see my screen? Okay, so this
Yes.
is this is our roadmap. That is, I think I have linked to this from the previous blog post that we had around the roadmap, but I will add the link to the wiki as well. If you're interested in what's going on on the roadmap in general, just put it somewhere, like bookmark it somewhere, because that's where this is the source of all truth right now. So the way this works is basically we have a bunch of things that we know we need to do. Every month we're gonna review this and change things around. Like, for example, this at right now is not like super accurate because some things have moved around. And then I think on Monday we're gonna update this because some decisions need to be made about like what are the things that we can do in September, and so on and so forth. So we will update this on Monday, and then I'll make sure to let everybody in the community know, probably by a thread on the forums, on the contributor forums, that this is now updated and these are the changes. But more or less, the things that we're currently working on, I don't know how clear it is, but it's still Firefox accounts. So right now there's still a big chunk of work around Firefox accounts. And we're planning for the Firefox accounts hard migration. The hard migration means that it will be no longer possible to log in also with a SUMO account. That will be decommissioned. So login will only be available through Firefox accounts. So now we're looking at how can we do that? When can we do that? And what does this mean? My instinct right now is that this will happen towards beginning of October. I hope so far a lot of people have switched to Firefox accounts. I know there's a bug right now. There's a bug. I've seen a lot of reports, and Tassos is working on it around like the deletion of some accounts. But that will be solved this week. And hopefully everything will be fine. So if that is solved successfully, then probably at the end of September, beginning of October, we're going to do the hard migration, meaning that we're shutting down login through SUMO accounts. There will be a banner on the site to let people know that this is happening. And my plan is to have like the banner going on for a whole month. Say like, hey, on this date, you'll no longer have access to SUMO accounts, so please like switch now. Yeah, and then there should be like a lot of communication around that. So that is more or less the idea. There's also a question of what's going to happen with the accounts that are not going to be switched over. I think it really depends on like legal and like all the policies around it, but I think it's going to be something in the lines of how we're doing that now with like people who close down their accounts. Like the account is completely anonymized, but like the important content is kept, meaning like, if somebody has contributed to a question or anything like that, that will remain. But like all the stuff around it is anonymized. However, I'm not sure if this is possible, so we'll see. We'll talk about it more once we know more from legal. So this is the big next thing, Firefox accounts. The other big thing that is being worked on is Elasticsearch. We're a bit delayed on this, so I should move this. I'm not going to move it yet, but this work is not as advanced as this should be. So, but it needs to happen very, very soon. So I expect work on this will start next week, and will go on through the rest of September, Elasticsearch. Okay, these are the things that we're supposed to do, we haven't done. So implement content security, the CSP piece, this has not been done yet. There's an issue opened, I think, on GitHub for it, and we're looking into it, but there simply wasn't any time for it. The good thing is that for the next couple of weeks, and maybe for the rest of the year, Tassos is getting some help from Nemo. So he's not going to be the only one trying to do everything, which means that we're always behind on stuff. But yeah, so hopefully things will be sped up a bit. Codebase cleanup, this is something that is happening on its ongoing work. So this is basically whenever like we're working on something, Tassos is working on something, and then he sees some like old code or anything that needs to be removed, he just like gets rid of it. So that actually makes our platform better. The AQ flow. The AQ flow is actually in combination with responsive design. This is the second big thing that we're looking at. Meaning that we need SUMO to be mobile responsive. Right now it isn't. I don't know how much information about, probably not a lot, because we haven't communicating a lot around it, and we really need to get better at this. But we've done an SEO audit on the site, and we're doing really bad with the whole like Google changes and all that. So part of this is because our site is not mobile responsive, so we need to fix that ASAP. And then there will be some new branding elements also that need to be implemented on the site, so across all Mozilla properties. So we're gonna integrate that. And then the whole AQ flow right now, obviously because of Firefox accounts, is not even like visible anymore for people who are non-authenticated. But the whole AQ flow needs to be fixed, and we're going to integrate that with the responsive design. So we have a designer on board that's going to start work. I mean, she just like joined us. We're going to onboard her, and then we're going to start working on the AQ. That means eliminate some of the pages, like all the steps, make it a lot better and friendlier for users. So this whole stuff around responsive redesign and AQ, it will take the rest of the year. So the plan is to have all this implemented by December, or it might even spill over January, depending on the amount of work that needs to be done. Okay, what else we have here? So the page support stuff, I think that is done. I need to check in with Tassos. I'm not even sure where we're at with that, but that's also something that we need to look at, which is basically how do we integrate the whole stuff around like new services with support. And then the API work, I don't have a lot of details on that. What I can tell you is that this work hasn't started, but although we should have started looking at it in August, but we haven't because we didn't have any time. But again, after Monday, I should have more details about what exactly does this mean. Anyway, so as you can see, there's a lot of work. Yeah, use this document. I hope this is helpful. We're gonna have another blog post after we do like the roadmap review on Monday. Yeah, I'm hoping to get better at communicating what's going on. Our plan is to actually have like, let's say, a presentation like this, or however you want to call it, like on a monthly basis. So monthly at the community meeting, we can talk about like what's new on the platform side, on the roadmap, what has changed, how we progress from like month to month and what has been moved around. Hopefully that would make it more transparent. Sorry for not being more transparent, but it's just like a bunch of stuff that, yeah, we're trying to figure out. We want to fix everything, pretty much. Okay, that's more or less around the platform. Questions? No questions. Great. Okay. Sorry, Kiki, one more thing I want you to add. Although you might think that the bugs that you're filing are going to a black hole, they are not. So although we're not always super responsive, that's because like there's a lot of things going on that we need to take care of. But when you file the bugs, we see them, they are noted. If they are like critical, they're being prioritized. So both Tassos and I are constantly monitoring Mozilla and GitHub. So yeah, it's work is happening. If there is something that you feel that is not being prioritized in the sense it has to be critical, like I know that a lot of people have a lot of bugs and ideally would fix them all. But right now, because there's so many very important things that need to happen, meaning like all these things, if they don't happen, like Elasticsearch, that means that we don't have a website anymore. So at this point, we're really focusing on things that are super critical that, you know, if we don't do them means that the SUMO might break or it might not work anymore, like the experience might be super bad. So we will always be prioritizing critical stuff. So if the bug that you're filing is more of a feature request or anything like that, we see it, but unfortunately we cannot prioritize it right now. I hope that one day in my lifetime we're going to get to that point where we can actually we can stop worrying about the fact that SUMO will break and start like actually doing things that will improve the site. So anyway, I think I took way longer than I should have. Sorry, Kiki.
Sorry. Do you want to talk about the URL as well?
Yes. Yes.
I think Fernando is speaking. Yeah, Fernando, do you have a question for Madalena?
Yeah, I ask him a question. Madeleine, what do you mean with the premium service support implementation in the strategic goal?
I'm sorry?
What do you mean with the premium service support implementation? In the document, I read the document.
You mean this one?
Yeah. I read the one title that see premium service support implementation.
Oh, this is just like connecting like some of the new products with SUMO.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. There's no change like on your side or anything like that.
Okay. Sorry. Thanks.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, cool. So let's talk about okay, this is the Respond Tool roadmap. Okay, cool. So on the Respond Tool, we have a few things. So I'm just like looking at the. So right now we're working on a new iteration of the Respond Tool, meaning that there are like a few things that we're trying to improve on the tool itself. So right now the tool, I hope everybody's familiar with the Respond Tool. I don't know how many people are familiar with the Respond Tool. Yes, I hope so. Okay. So right now what am I trying to say? So right now we have a tool, it's working. Some people are using it, not a lot of people, but that's also because we haven't like been super proactive in like promoting it and like bringing more people in, because right now it's like not the perfect tool, like not everything is working on it. I think what we're trying to do is to like add a few things to make it easier to use and like more fun. So right now we're working on that, and these are like the few things that we're looking at. For example, we're going to have like a different way to present canned responses. Right now there's like this document where you can look at canned responses. But we want to have it like, basically you can click on things from the tool and then add them directly in the response. Actually, I can show it how it works, right? That would be more interesting than just talking about it. Let me just quickly find it. Okay. So this is more or less how it's going to look like. It's the respond tool. You're going to have like this really nice box where it says, welcome to responding. Click on respond here, canned responses. And then you have like all these categories where you can choose canned responses from, and then add, copy, paste, done. That's one example. And then moderation, gonna look a bit different. We're gonna have this list. We're gonna moderate. Does this feel friendly? I guess you've seen this before. Here you can see how many times a response has been moderated. Yeah, that's more or less it. I'm a bit in a rush because I only have 2 minutes left, so I'm not sure if I should just like come back on this next week as well. But either way, so we're working on this new version of the tool. We're gonna have something ready mid-September, so I think around the 17th. And then is for everybody to go in, test, and go in, test, and basically see how it works. And then we're gonna plan for a release around October, when we want to have like a big campaign about starting to actually get more people in and like have it. I think that what I'm trying to say is that the plan is to actually release this as a full program. So we want the Respond tool to be a official Mozilla support channel. Yeah, like an official Mozilla support channel that will be presented together as, you know, we have like the localization pieces, you have the, localization, you have the support forums, you have social, and then you also have support on Play Store, which will be this. Yeah, that's more or less it. I can come back because we're out of time. I can come back on this next week in case there are like more questions or you want me to like go more thoroughly through it. I'm more than happy to do that. But I think the bottom line is beta tool ready mid-September.
Cool. Thank you, Madalena. I don't want to cut you, but we have run out of time, and we have 2 topics. No problem. We can have Madalena again in our next meeting, or probably the 2 next weeks, like after next week, because next week we're going to have the product manager of Firefox Logbook and Monitor, and so
Likewise.
Sorry.
It's okay. Let's just use old code names. I'm good with that.
Anyway, very quickly, Julia, do you want to talk about the Bengali locals updates about the merging?
Yeah, today is the day of everything is going weird. So sorry if you don't see me, but my connection is horrible. That's why I can't connect my video. But to talk really quickly about this week we worked on something that was really important and was really important specifically for two different communities. One was the Bengali in India, and the other one was the Bengali for Bangladesh. We today Tazos is merging and completing this process on merging the two communities. On L10 in Pontoon is going to be another process and a different way to do it. But on SUMO, there is going to be a database migration, and the articles will be merged in the same locale that is going to be BN from now on. So Bengali is going to have a unique locale with every knowledge base articles that were on the SUMO before. So everyone was pretty happy about the decision. We got feedback, obviously, before doing this. We reached out to the community. The community was happy, specifically to, obviously, the Bengali community. And we also posted on the forum. And yeah, everyone was happy, so we went on with that, just to update you on this. Thank you, Kiki.
Okay, thank you so much, Julia. I think the last update has been touched by Madalena a little bit, so I don't want to repeat that again. And sorry for the overtime. We're going to see you again next week, and we're going to have AMA with who's the name of the project manager again? Sandy. Yeah.
Sandy says clockwise. Yes.
Yes. Clockwise.
And monitor. All right.
Next week. Thank you so much for joining today. Bye.
Thank you, Madalena.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.